Hey friends. Ooh, I think that was a little bit too loud. Hey friends, it's me, Cash. Welcome back to another episode 2 of, I don't know what I'm calling this, Retwist with me. I know it's Retwist with me, but I want something a little bit more catchy. We'll get there. So obviously you peeped the hair. It's technically not freshly washed. I probably washed it maybe 2 days. No, actually it is freshly washed. I am fibbing. I washed it earlier that day, but it is let's say 90% dry because it was hot. Oh, okay, we getting into it. Section it into two sections. Well, technically four, but two for now. I found that when I section my hair, I work way quicker. I used to do that when I was a loose natural. I don't know why I thought it wouldn't translate to me having locks, but here we are. I'm putting on some Afro G leave-in protein conditioner. I don't know what it's called exactly, but you know the Afro G leave-in. You know what I'm talking about. I've used it before. That's just plain water, and then my oil blend. I can't remember what's in this oil blend. I do know there's peppermint oil. There's always peppermint oil, uh, olive oil, and probably coconut oil. Probably a little bit of castor. Maybe something else. I can't remember, but it's really not that important. Regular degular, trying to be a little precise with the parting. I'm not too crazy about it, but I don't want it to, I want it to look I want it to look a little cute, a little, you know what I'm saying? A little polished, if you will. What did I want? I have a couple topics today. Actually, before I get into my topic, because I just talked about my hair being polished, there's this debate going on the internet about girlies that use gel and the girlies that don't use gel. And I personally don't use gel because I don't think it's necessary. I don't have no problem with the girlies that do use gel. But there's this whole argument that if you a girly that only uses oil, you don't like your hair polished, and the girls that do use gel like a more refined look, and they're a little bit more kept, and blah 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 blah. And I just feel like, while I understand the argument, that's harmful to the community. Like, you can't just assume because I don't use gel that I like to look rough around the edges. I mean, it is arguable that gel doesn't give as much of a polished look, but I feel like it's about the technique. Like, if you know how to retwist hair well and you know what you're doing, you could get a sleek retwist with just oil, as you're about to see. This retwist is about to be sleek, and you're gonna be gagging. But yeah, I just feel like there's this whole war on. I mean, maybe not war, but I feel like there's just this whole culture of being super sleek that is kind of toxic, because while I said there's no problem with using gels, if you use gel, your hair is going to have built up. There's no way, excuse me, there's no way around that. I don't care what you say, your hair is gonna have built up. You're probably gonna have to do an ACV rinse a few times in your life. That's not there's no problem with that, but that's the reality of the situation. It's the same thing where girls that perm their hair versus the girls that don't. You can have healthy permed hair. Nobody's debating that. But your hair is not gonna be as healthy as someone who never permed their hair. It's just like ripped jeans. If you wearing ripped jeans, yeah, they look good. They're probably good jeans, but technically they are weaker. You had to do something to get that look, and that thing that you did weakened it. I feel like we want to have the best of both worlds, and that's just it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't say, "Oh, I use gel, but I don't get buildup." You do, honey. Own if you want to use gel, you want to be, sleek and whatever, whatever. you know, own it. Like, you gotta have to do a couple ACV wrenches. That's okay. It's like, but just don't act like, oh, I use gel and it's the exact same as using oil, but it's just more polished. Like, that's not how this works. And don't try to make it seem like you look better or whatever the case because you got the sleek edges. Like, sleek edges is gonna be the demise of the community. Because, like, I just feel like, how did we get here? I feel like was edges and baby hairs, because those are two different things. Your edges is the perimeter. Your baby hairs are short hairs around the perimeter that, don't go into any style. That's why they lay down and forward. Like, you swoop your baby hairs down, you swoop your edges back. Like, they're two different things. Let me just, because I hate that people be trying to make it seem like edges and baby hairs is the same thing, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I feel like baby hairs were inherently black. Like, that is something from the black community. Nobody else was doing baby hairs. Nobody else was doing, edges like that. And now I feel like it's been co-opted into like this text. Like, I feel like texturism co-opted into this whole new thing where it's like not inherently black. Like, I feel like a lot of girlies with like 4C hair or just coilier hair feel like they can't achieve the baby hair look. And I'm just like, everybody has, like, if you don't have baby hairs, that's probably because you have traction alopecia. But everybody has baby hairs. Like, baby hairs are the short hairs in the front. Like, you could just, some people just style them a little bit differently than others. I just feel like now it doesn't seem inherently black, and I just don't understand how we got here. Like, how are black girls like, oh, baby hairs aren't for me, when it's like, you were the motherfuckers that started this shit. Like, I don't understand that. I hope that made sense. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. But as you see, the hair is sleek, it's slicking down, and it's just oil and water, baby. Get into it, yeah, yeah. So I do have some topics that I want to talk about. I did write them down. I didn't like, you know, go crazy with like my details or my notes. So it's probably gonna sound a little all over the place, but what can I do? This is me, raw and uncut, one take. Yeah. Anyway, uh, yes, I do have some topics, and we are here for an hour. Well, 40 minutes now because I done rambled a little bit, but you do have me for an hour, so sit back. I hope you got some snacks. I hope you're comfortable already because we already 10 minutes in, so you should be comfortable by now. Anyway, so my first topic is going to be femininity, and I feel like personally, I've been leaning into my femininity a lot more, and I'm not sure why. It might just be age and hormones. um, yeah, it might just be age and hormones. I feel like I haven't been on birth control since my freshman year of college. So what was that, like 2016, 17, 18, 19, 2015, 2016? Yeah, so like 2016 was the last year I was on birth control. So hopefully my hormones are like back to normal, because that should be fucking your system up. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been feeling a lot more feminine lately. It might be the locks because my hair is like long and like dangling. It's down my back. Shout out to me. You see it. You see it. But yeah, I don't know. I've been leaning into my femininity way more, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. It is a little bit jarring because, like I said, I really don't know why I'm feeling so feminine, and it's just like it manifests in really new ways. I'm not gonna say odd, but like new ways. Cause like I'll randomly be chilling and I'm just like, oh my god, I want to cry right now. Why? I don't know. And like growing up, like I've always been a crybaby, but it's always been like, girl, shut the fuck up, you always crying. So like I've always tried to hide that part of me. So now that I'm feeling more girly and like crying is just, I don't know. It's just like randomly I'll be like, oh my God, I want to cry right now. But like there's nothing that's triggering it. But on the flip side, more things trigger it. So I'll be watching a show and like say somebody wins a prize or like they celebrating something. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to cry. Tears swelling up in my eyes and I'm just like, girl, it's really not that deep. Like, why are you crying right now? But I want to nurture that side of my, I want to nurture that side of me more, because I feel like even me just saying, "Girl, why you crying?" Like you crying because your feelings are feeling. Like you crying because you feeling something right now, and that's okay. Like it's okay to be a crybaby. It's okay to, express yourself in that way. Just because you were, you know, shunned for that growing up, don't mean you gotta shun yourself. You can love yourself however you need to. So, been feeling more feminine, definitely expressing that in my fashion more. And because for the first time, like I don't have anything with like a strict rule on how I should dress. Because, school, you have your social norms and then you have your like school policies or dress codes or whatever. And then same for work. Um, Yeah, because now for the first time I really don't have that. I'm like leaning into that more and like expressing myself more and wearing more jewelry and heels. I always loved heels. I always been a heel girl, but I always felt like I didn't have the the what's the word? The event. But now I'm like, fuck it, I am the event. If I'm about to go to the supermarket in heels, I'm about to go to the supermarket in heels. Who's gonna clock me? Who's gonna stop me? Nobody, right? So I'm loving that. I'm feeling that. But I do feel like there's a war on femininity, especially in this country with like patriarchy being so prevalent or so like at the forefront. Like I feel like everybody's like patriarchally forward, if that makes sense. Like everybody feels like men should be the leaders and blah blah blah. But that like I feel like because of patriarchy, we don't understand what it means to lead, because everybody's always talking about how they want a submissive woman and da da da. You're supposed to step back and let the man lead, and it's just like, one, can y'all niggas even lead? Like y'all wanna let the woman sit back and let you lead, but can you lead? Why would I trust you to lead and you not capable? So I'm gonna get it on my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. But we keep forgetting that if you want to, like, okay, so they keep saying we want submissive feminine women, but we not understanding that the submissive is the leader. In BDSM, if you have somebody that is the submissive, right? It doesn't look like they're leading, but they are. I mean, everybody has safe words, but generally the submissive is the one that would use the safe word, right? And that means if the submissive says pineapples, that's the safe word, right? Say submissive like, pineapples, guess what happens? The dominant stops. So who's really leading? Because if the submissive says, okay, I'm ready, then the dominant goes. If the submissive says, nah, pineapples, then the dominant stops. I feel like people don't understand that, and it's not at the forefront when we talk about being submissive. Because, yeah, we want, I'm not gonna say we, cause I'm not speaking for everybody, but if you want a man to lead you, yeah, he can lead you, but you're the one with the goal. So like, they say the man is the head of the house, but the woman is the neck. Yeah, he's the head, but the head don't move unless the neck do. You know what I'm saying? So like, I hope this is making sense. I just feel like we not understanding. Like if the woman is being submissive, that's because she told the man what the goal is and he's getting it done. But at the end of the day, she's technically, you know, at the forefront. Does that make sense? Like I hope that's making sense. I just feel like we not understanding what it means to be feminine. I mean, to what it means to be submissive and dominant for real. Because back to the BDSM example, if Shorty says pineapples, all operations done. So who's really leading? You know, and you know, I really didn't really want to get into this, but I feel like niggas is on some bitches is too independent now. They not letting men be da da da. But it's like y'all dropped the ball. Y'all dropped the ball. If y'all were doing what y'all needed to do, we wouldn't have to step up and do everything. Like you talking about something. Oh, you want a meal ready from when you come home from work because you come home from work tired all day, but you want to pay 50-50 on the bills. If you paying 50-50 on the bills, where the fuck you think she come home from? Work, nigga. So she's tired too. Like, and it's like niggas be seeing girls come home from work and cook and clean and do all that shit for themselves, but it's like, yeah, cause you dropped the ball, nigga. So I'm gonna have to do all that shit for myself. And one, and two, it's different doing that for two people versus one. Cause could you imagine you at work all day, come home to cook and clean after two people? It's different when it's just your house. You cooking, you clean up after yourself. You doing shit like how you want it. You moving on your accord, on your time. But now having to do that, have to doing that for somebody else as well. It's totally different. It's totally different. And I feel like that's not understood when people talk about how they want a submissive partner, blah, blah, blah. Like, you got to create the space. You got to create the space. Like, and then back in the day, you talking about some back in the day, women would cook and clean. Yeah, because one, they couldn't go to work. They couldn't have bank accounts. They couldn't do all that shit for themselves. That's one. And two, the man was paying for everything. He was paying for everything. You can't ask me to pay for shit and then want me to do what your mama used to do, what your grandma used to do. Like, no, do what your pappy used to do, do what your grandpa used to do. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like we not looking at this objectively. We're not looking at the full picture, but back to my topic, femininity. I digress. That was a little tangent. I'm sorry. But back to femininity, I feel like there's this. I mean, I guess it kind of does go into the whole. Anyway, I digress. Let's back on topic. So, feminine expression, I feel like is a hot topic right now. Everybody's talking about feminine energy and da da da. And even the spiritual girlies are falling victim to capitalistic patriarchy. Like, I'm not really liking how y'all expressing how to be in your feminine energy for a man or whatever, or so that men could do this for you and blah blah blah. But and again, I digress. But I feel like the clean, soft girlies are in a way like weaponizing their femininity or like um I don't know what the word is. Villainizing? No. More so like just talking down on any other girls that express their femininity differently. Talking about like, oh, feminine, soft, clean girls have short nails and we wear only gray, nude, and white. Like, girl, long nails, bright colors, a lot of jewelry, all that ghetto lovely shit is feminine too. Like, who the fuck are you to say feminine girls only look like that? Femininity has, firstly, it has little to do with what you got on. You know what I'm saying? It's an energy. Like, get into it. It's an energy. So you saying like I think my problem really is with the girls talking about some short nails, da 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 da. Because one, if you see a nigga with long nails, you're gonna be like, oh, this one got a little sweetness to it. Like you're gonna be like, oh, he's sassy. He might like boys. Da 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 da. Da. So how the fuck you come to the conclusion that short nails mean femininity? I feel like it's just people putting down the the ghetto look, like, and I'm not using ghetto negatively because I really love that aesthetic. Like I feel like that's top five, top two, you know, aesthetic. Like it's popping. I really love it. I wear my nails long personally, and I wear bright colors on my nails. So maybe I'm taking a little offense to it personally, but I just feel like one, I just feel like you pulling shit out of your ass at this point. You pulling shit out of your ass to appease who? And I feel like the whole clean girl aesthetic is not rooted in like uplifting women and like actual just expression. I feel like it's pandering to the male gaze. Like, oh, I wear this and that so that men think I'm classy and I can get a high value man. Like, firstly, girl, if you talking about some high value man, you already done lost because it's a boy, it's a man, it's a nigga. Like, how have you met men? Like, what the fuck is high value about them other than their bank account if they got that? So, like, saying all of that, whack, corny, I just feel like, no, no. And you saying, like, I just feel like it's just, it doesn't uplift everybody. So it's just like, why is we even why is we even participating in it? Like it doesn't appeal to me. And don't get me wrong, I do like the aesthetic for certain things. Like if I was a corporate girl, I feel like that would be my work aesthetic. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. 'Cause I like color. I like color, and I like expression, and I like pattern, and I like avant-garde, and I like taking risks. So I really don't think that aesthetic will really fit me. It's cute. Don't get me wrong. I do, but I just feel like, oh, you know what it is? I feel like it's a really Western way of thinking. Because if you notice, especially like with like gentrification, like the buildings that gentrify these neighborhoods are boxy and white and bland and gray. Like it's giving dystopia. It's giving uh, The Giver. Like it's just not. Where's the expression? Where's the color? Where's the life? Like I just feel like you can do clean girl without being so monotone and monotonous. Like it's not for me. It's not for me, but I don't feel like I have to knock the girlies that do it because I don't do it. And that's probably where my main problem is. Like I feel like if you are selling your product, you don't have to bash other products. Tell me why your shit is popping, not why the other shit ain't, because it don't got shit to do with you. And that's not why we're here. So I feel like, you know, do you, feminine energy is, like I said, an energy. And however you see fit to express it is however you see fit to express it. Next topic. Actually, before we get into the topic, get into this hair. You see it. You see, I'm like almost halfway. I'm thinking about actually doing my hair in 6 sections, seeing if that makes it quicker. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because I just feel like when I get to the, once I get to the, oh, actually, no, maybe not 6 sections, but breaking up the bottom section into a top and a bottom instead of a left and a right. Because I just feel like the clip placement, once I get to the right side of my head, gets a little wonky in the middle because I already have clips on the left side. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next time I'll try it out. But my next topic is going to be friendships, right? So I'm 24 and I feel like I'm in a space right now that isn't hmm. Okay. So you make friends at school, you make friends at work or whatever, right? I'm not doing either. Right. Well, I did just interview for this place, and I'm pretty sure I got the job. So probably be in a workspace soon enough. But I'm not in the school space anymore. And like once you leave school spaces, you notice that you were only friends with certain people because you've seen them 5 times a week. And once the school setting is taken away, you're not really friends with these people like how you thought you were friends with these people. Now, I've really never been a person to like. Okay, I've never really felt that way. Like, I never really felt like, oh yeah, I know when school's done, me and you not gonna um whatchamacallit, hang out or whatever. Like, I've always been pretty good at telling who I'm actually friends with, regardless. But I just feel like now that I'm not in spaces like that, how the fuck do you make friends? Like, as an adult, how do you make friends outside of work? And the thing is too, like, mixing work and personal never really been the smartest idea because it doesn't work out. Because then personal feelings start getting into it, and it gets messy at work. And then say you fall out as friends, or like something happens outside of work. Now work is awkward, work is uncomfortable, and it's just like I have to be here, so I don't want to do that. I was just like, how do you make friends as an adult? And like, I tried the Bumble thing, and it just feels so forced. Like, we having whack ass conversations. Oh, what's your diet? What do you like? What do you like to eat? What do you like to do for fun? Like, and it's just no, it's not nothing. None of that makes me say like, oh yeah, let's hang out outside of this group chat or this Bumble chat. Like, it feels forced. I'm not really a fan. Might try it again. No, I'm lying. No. Well, never say never, right? But on the same token, growing out of friendships, because it's one thing to, like I said, leave school and realize y'all not as cool as y'all was, and it's nothing for y'all to stop talking because now y'all not in school, so it don't seem awkward. Or even if you had a falling out with a friend, it makes sense that y'all not talking no more, right? It don't feel like, obviously, if y'all had a falling out, y'all can't be cool no more. Y'all not gonna talk. But what about the friendships that you just you just grow out of naturally, right? And I feel like there are some friendships that I know that I really don't want to take into the future, just as me growing as a person and realizing the type of people that I do want around, and realizing you know who I am. And you look back at certain things and you're like, damn, I let that slide, or I really didn't like how that made me feel, and maybe I didn't have the confidence to speak up then, but now I do. And that's gonna cause tension or problems in the relationship. And you can just foresee certain things becoming a problem or being a problem in your friendship, and you just know, like, mm, down the line, I don't think me and this person gonna be friends, or probably wouldn't invite them to my wedding. So it's kind of like, why hold on to the friendship, but it's also like, how do you how do you diffuse the friendship without it being like we're beefing? I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's really not that. It's just that you and certain people just might not be on the same path, and that's okay. But how do you navigate that? How do you make that known to the person? Because the thing is too, like, you can remove your energy, take it back, maybe not hang out as much, but then I feel like that creates beef. Like, that makes it seem like, oh, I've been asking you to hang out, you never want to hang out, fuck you, da 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 da. And that's valid. Like, I definitely feel like, you know, if I've been asking to be your friend and you keep rejecting me, I could see somebody being mad. I could see somebody not wanting to, well, maybe not wanting to be cordial about the separation. Like, I could see it going left. I could see it being like, you know what? Yeah, it is F you, because you couldn't have the decency to tell me like what it is straight up. But it's like, how do you word that shit? How do you tell somebody like, yo, I don't like who you are as a person, and it's not meshing with who I'm growing up to be. Like, I just feel like there's no way for somebody to receive that, and maybe that's just me being really, what's the word, caring. Excuse me, for lack of a better word. That's just me caring about the person, for lack of a better word. But I don't see it happening smoothly. I just don't see, like, how do you tell somebody like, yeah, the person I'm growing into and the person that you're growing into is just not compatible no more. I don't want to be friends. Like, I just feel like, even if you say it nicely, they're gonna be like, oh well, no, we can work it out. And it's just like, I don't want to. I'm good, and I don't want to feel like I'm changing anybody. I don't want to feel like anybody's changing for me, because I'm a strong believer in, like, not telling anybody what to do with their life, because I don't know everything that they know, and I don't know how they feel, and I don't know how they navigate the world. So me telling you, oh, do this, do this, do this, because of what I know, probably not gonna be that helpful to you. So why even do it? So I really don't feel like telling somebody, oh, do this, do that, do this, especially to please me, makes sense, because I'm not going to do anything to please anybody else. So why do I feel like I need to be pleased? So I don't know, because it's just like, I could see certain friendships just not being in my best interest, and like, it's just the things that I feel like there is. I feel like once a friendship is taking up a lot of my mental space, like, I'm thinking about, I'm about to do something, and I'm thinking, oh no, but what would this person say? What would this person do if I show up like this? They gotta say this. I don't need to be around that. Like, I feel like I should be able to be me, be myself, be without being judged, without feeling like, oh no, maybe I can't do this. Maybe, like, I feel like I should be able to be free, and there are certain friendships that I just feel like I'm always on the defense, and I just feel like I should never be on the defense in a friendship. And I just, yeah, I just feel like, yeah, how do you navigate that without being the bad guy? Do I just have to be the bad guy for my own betterment? maybe, maybe. But that it doesn't really go into my next topic. But there is like a subset of friendships. Like who? So, oh, actually, on some relevant news, I feel like Erica Banks is getting a lot of heat for what she said about who she goes to the club with and blah 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 blah. Right? While I don't agree with her, I do see some truth to what she's saying. Cause you have certain friends for certain things. Like if I have a friend that I study with and or say I have a book club friend, right? We met at the book club and every time we hang out, it's always talking about books and reading and blah blah blah. And we hang out at coffee shops and shit, right? I'm probably not gonna invite her to the club because that's not her scene and that's not where her and I mesh. She probably never seen, or they, because I don't even know. They might be a boy, they might be a they might be whatever. They might not have seen me in my ratchet state. Obviously, I'm not twerking on tables at Starbucks. So now they expecting me to be one way, but we go to the club and now I'm dirty whining and they like, what? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not gonna invite you to the club because you're not my club friend. Now, if my book club friend is like, yo, I want to go to the club, I'm not gonna be like, nah, your ass not fat enough, you can't come. But obviously, I'm gonna have to let her know, like, yo, when I go to the club, this is what it's like. This is what this is what we dress like. What are you comfortable with? How are you gonna, you know, for lack of a better word, adapt to the situation? Because obviously, girl, you're not gonna wear no cardigan to no goddamn club. Like you probably not even gonna get in. The club has a dress code. Like it's not my dress code, but you know what I'm saying? Like I understand to a certain degree. Well, okay, no, 'cause I feel like she was really just saying like, if you don't look a certain way and it's like the video vixen body and the BBL and all of that, like that's not what I'm saying. Cause if you skinny or you thick, it don't matter. But bitch, we wearing heels. Well, you don't even have to wear heels because you can put on a cute little sandal, but you're not about to wear Uggs and a cardigan to the club. Like you just not. And if you feel like you are, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna be seen with you, but I'm gonna let you know, like, shorty, I'm not wearing that with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not gonna be a we thing. It's gonna be a you thing. But that kind of gets me into what I want to say. Like, so you're not supposed to share news until it's solidified, or like, you know, there's just certain people that you wouldn't share certain news with, and I just feel like if you're my friend, I should be able to talk to you about everything, or I should be able to share good news with you without feeling like, oh no, they gotta be bad minded, they gotta prey on my downfall or like speak negatively into my plans or whatever. Right? And that's why I feel like some friendships need to fizzle out, because if I feel that way, I just don't feel like we need to be friends. But uh, there are also just certain people that don't, or not certain people, certain friends don't have the same viewpoint on certain things, and it's just like, do you, I don't know how to say this, but like, do you cultivate your friendships based on your viewpoints? Because I feel like being on some, oh well, how do I say this, because I'm not articulating this well. So okay, let's give an example. So you have a friend that has a really strong poverty mindset, right? And you maybe you grew up with the same mindset, but now you doing the work, you doing the shadow work to grow out of that, and you've grown out of that, right? You tell them like, yo, bro, I'm about to invest in this new camera. It's amount of money. You know they're gonna be like, bro, that's a bad idea. Don't do it. And all you really wanted was, for lack of a better term, like help with your manifestation. Because I feel like when two minds believe something is gonna happen, is more likely to happen than just one, right? Unless, obviously the one mind is more powerful, blah, blah, blah. But that's nuances. But it's just like, if you know you can't share certain news with certain people, how much does that affect the friendship? Because it's like, I want more friends, period. Because like I said, like making friends as an adult is hard, and I'm, back in my city, and it's just like, obviously you want to hang out, you want to chit chat, you want to have fun, blah blah blah. But like, how just how important is it to have the same mindset? I guess is my question, because I feel like there's certain people I can't share news with, or goals with, or just ideas with, because their program is just so opposite mine, and it just feels like, kind of sometimes like, what's the point? But I feel like that's not fair, because we relate and have fun in other ways. So it's just, I don't know. I don't think I articulated that well, and it's not coming to mind any better. So I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. I like, if that makes sense. Please, please, like, comment. We could talk about it more, because you know, obviously I'm open to conversation. We have, what do we have? What, 9 minutes left? Ooh, we made it to the end. Almost done with the hair. You see, I feel like this retwist was really good. This retwist was really, really sleek. No shade to the Joe girlies. Don't come for me. But yeah, no, this retwist was really good. It was kind of fast too. I think I did it in like 2 hours and 15, which is about my average. Like, I think my average like two. Yeah, my average like 2:15. Obviously, I'm filming, so there was a little bit more that went into it. I'm not locksmithing as much. I have locksmith. I did locksmith in this video, but not as much. Like the top, yeah, it's a quick twirl, and we locking it in place. Because some of them are a little bit more mature, not as frizzy. And I feel like when I do the twirl like that, like, because the hair like wraps around itself, it kind of like smooths it out as it goes up, if that makes sense. Let's see if I do it again to like better explain with the visual. I want to get my hair. Okay, wait. Let's see if I'm doing it. Okay, so the hair didn't wrap around itself, but like the end of the lock kind of wraps around the base sometimes, and I feel like that helps with the frizz, so I don't have to locksmith as much. But yeah, see, like that. Like, you see how it like twirls around itself? I feel like that kind of helps. I don't know how true that is, but in my mind, that's what's happening. I do want to get my hair professionally done. I just want to, see how much they can clean up my parts, or how, crisp my parts can get, because I can't see the back of my head that well. And once I'm in the mirror, like left and right start being right and left, and it's not as easy. as some people make it seem. But I did get my hair installed by a loctician, and I just feel like mm, my parts aren't even, and I don't know how much of that is because of the density of my hair changes. Because I know like hair density has a lot to do with the sizing of your parts and how big your locks look. Because my locks look pretty even in size for the most part. There are some locks I'm like, girl, these are little as hell. What was you doing? Especially on my right side. But yeah, I feel like my parts aren't straight, which like obviously I can't see the back of my head, so it don't bother me unless I'm looking at the back of my head. But like, girl, you can see the back of my head. Why are they not straight? That's one. Two, some are rectangles, some are squares, and it's just like, again, girl, what was you doing? And then three, the front of my hair, I feel like based on what I've learned about locks, the perimeter locks are always bigger than the rest because your perimeter is usually one, thinner, and two, more fragile. So you don't want them to be more susceptible to breakage by being like too little, but the locks being too, by the parts being too little and the locks being too big. And I feel like she didn't really follow that rule. Like the locks in the front of my head are way smaller than the locks everywhere else, and it's just like, girl, if these motherfuckers fall out, I'm suing. No, I'm playing. But I did have to combine two locks in the front because they were just entirely too small. And when I combined it, it didn't even look like I combined it. Like they looked like they were always supposed to be one. I can't remember which video that is, but you should probably go back and try and find out, eh? Yeah. So we're coming towards the end. 3 minutes or 4 minutes? 4 minutes. I hope this conversation was riveting. I hope I made sense because I just was rambling. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I said, I had these topics written down, but it was literally just like quick little bullet points, no nuance, no real thought put into it. And I just want to I just want to talk. I want to get something off my chest, talk with you while we doing this because it's like, why not? Nobody wants to watch a video for an hour and the same thing over and over. At least I don't, because I could watch this, but like I'll probably like throw music on in the background, like throw a podcast on in the background. So it's like, why not be the podcast that you throwing in the background as well? You feel me? I am enjoying being locked though. I'm coming up on my 2 year mark in October, so next month. This is actually my what comes before September? August, September, October. Yeah, this is my August. Is this my August retwist? Hold on. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Okay. Oh yeah, this is my August retwist. Damn. Yeah, so this is my August retwist, and I still feel like I'm not fully locked. Like they are not. I think it's because Sherlock, my really long lock. Oh, sorry, Sherlock, my really long lock. He's so mature that I can see the difference. But this is about maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours later. Because my hair wasn't soaking wet, I can take my clips out and then just tie my hair down, and I don't lose any of the crisp freshness, and I get to go to sleep without my head hurting. So that's a pro of starting on dry hair. yeah, just taking all my clips. And now I don't have to sleep with that dent. Well, I don't have to tie my hair and keep a dent in the back of my head. But my locks are flourishing. They're growing so much. They're so long. Look at them. I still haven't counted them, so please don't come for me. I'm going to count them eventually. I just have a little bit of a superstition around this, so that's the only reason I haven't counted them. But maybe in my 2.5 year mark, I don't know. We'll see. But you see the babies, you see the vibes, you see me. Look at it, so long. I'm outside. You can't even see how long Sherlock is, but like, look at it. I even like how my color has transitioned into this brown copperish color. I am gonna redye it though, but right now I'm loving this. So we're at the end. Thanks for staying with me. Thanks for chatting. Well, listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, please, please comment. Let me know the vibes. I'll catch you on the flip side.